Yeah, the first period was great. I thought we had a lot of energy and we played the way I think you need to play. We had a good forecheck and I thought we had some good offensive zone time. Second period we ran into a lot of penalty trouble, and I think from that point on in the game we lost a lot of the flow. Too few people were playing, or too many guys weren't getting enough ice time because of all the penalties that we were being forced to kill, and I think at that point the kind of flow of the game changed. So the second period was a slower period. In the third period it started to come again, the tempo was starting to come, but then we got into some penalty trouble again.
Kind of frustrating as a coach knowing that you can't have that 5-on-5 flow for basically 40 minutes.
Well, it's the rhythm you want. I mean, it's a challenge, and that's the fine line, but it's something that these players will learn. There's a style of hockey we want to play, and it's a physical style, but you have to be able to control your emotions, control your free hands or sticks, whatever it may be, so you're not sitting in the box. So ideally you can roll your four lines and create a lot of energy like we had in the first period, and that's something we'll have to learn to be better for.
Can you still evaluate effectively with all that special teams play?
I think you can. There's some guys that maybe you don't get quite the same read on because maybe they wouldn't have played the minutes they normally would have played, but I think you can still get a read in regards to, of course, the guys that are killing penalties, and on the flip side of things, some of the power plays that we did end up having as well.
We've always talked about the chemistry between Johnny Gaudreau and Sam Bennett. I guess it's fair to say it was on display tonight.
Well, they both had 1-on-1, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I thought they had spurts where they controlled the play in the offensive zone, and in regards to Sam, I thought this was a much better game for him than last night, so I guess that's kind of what we're anticipating, that each day he's going to keep getting better, and I feel like he was shooting the puck tonight, and I thought he had a good game. I thought he was pretty solid for the full 60 minutes.
Sam just discussed the pace is so much quicker, and he notices that. Is that something that's just going to have to come with experience as far as getting them used to it?
Absolutely. I think that's the big thing. It's like a younger kid in minor hockey. If you're playing with older kids, you're forced to keep up to that pace, and it takes you a little while, but the players that are quality players are able to do that. So in time, after a few games, they'll be able to do it without much issue. So they just need to learn to get up to speed. From here, it's going to take another step once main camp starts, so that'll be another learning curve for them at that time.
Pavel Penticton is someone we haven't spoke to you about, but he had some moments tonight. Defensively, you had him playing on the 5-on-3. Can you talk about his play?
Well, he was one of the guys that maybe didn't quite get the ice time that we probably would have liked to have given him tonight because of all the penalties. But he did a good job killing penalties, and when he was on the ice, I thought he worked and he competed well. And as I said, unfortunate that maybe some of the flow or the ice time that he probably would have wanted, he wasn't able to get because of all the power plays and penalty kills that there were tonight.
Did you feel the energy on the bench after Hunter Smith's hit? Did that help those guys?
Absolutely, the whole building. I mean, it kind of came alive at that time. It was a big hit. I was surprised Kessie got up after that hit, but those are the type of hits you like to see in the game. The game is meant to be physical, and if the hits are proper and they're clean, then I think everybody's okay with it, and it brought the building to life, and it brought our bench to life as well.
With Ferland in the box, you tried Hathaway on that line, and seemed to have a good night, right from that point, just on his game tonight, Hathaway's.
I liked him. That's the first time for me really seeing him play, and I was impressed with him. He's a straight line guy, he's up and down, and I felt like he was always around pucks with his work ethic, and when Michael was in the box, that's when Johnny scored his goal. Well, he was up playing with those two guys, so I thought he played real well, and that's why he got some shifts there in the third period as well.
So often consistency is the thing that so many of the players need to work at. A couple of better players last night were Ferland and Kenzie, and maybe they both struggled tonight. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, they weren't quite as good as they were last night for sure. I think that part of that's to do with being heavier players too. Back-to-back nights, as you said, they have to learn how to be able to play in those situations. So. Again, if you look at our first period, things were rolling along pretty nicely, so if we would have maybe stayed out of penalty trouble, it might have been a little different story in regards to both of their games at the end.
You had Elson and Carroll on the ice, down a goal in the late stages. Is that kind of like a reward thing for the game they played?
I don't know if it was necessarily a reward. They were the guys that were creating a lot of the chances that we were getting, especially towards the second half of the game. I think if we would have had a timeout, or if there would have been a whistle that would allow us to have a timeout, we might have made a change with the guys on the ice, but that's the way it ended up, and unfortunately we weren't able to tie.